Hey adventurers, welcome to the crew. I'm Sea Lord Janta, and this is my Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity. We have just finished the main quest of White March 2 as we dealt with the Endless down in that lake. And we're now going to go and wrap up some of the many other quests we have. Not the main quests. Let's see, so we've got to visit Crucible Keep. We've got to deal with this, which I figured out how to buff my resolve enough to pass the talks on that. And we have to go to Craigholt. And we have to find Eska, which is in Deerford. Plus some bounties. So first things first, I guess we have to head out of the White March for a short time so that we can visit Crucible Keep and Deerford. Yeah.
Certainly.
And home so I can get some rest buffs, but that'll hold for a moment. Okay, Deerford Village first it is. The whole party is
I'm
not
here.
back. I don't have a lot of spells left. Probably enough for
I'm
this.
here.
Hopefully. Otherwise, it's gonna be probably an embarrassing reload. Hey, just since we're here. You're just a soul dude? Yeah. Who am I looking for? I'm looking for the dark paladin dude who killed a bunch of random farmers, right? Yes. Eska Mill. Over there, then. Okay. Hopefully he's not dead yet. Not yet, he's not. Put the blade down, boy. You scarcely know how to hold it. Hey, help me, please! They're insane! One of the paladins takes a step to the side, swiveling to face you and Eska both. He sizes you up with a lazy sweep of the eyes. Well, who's this? Ah, the foreigner. You'll have to wait your turn. We have a contract to wrap up. Yeah, Kern sent me. He laughs. Did he? How much did he buy you for? He can't have offered very much. He didn't have to. Please, don't let him do this. Eska here can tell you, Kithop and Stalwart love their petty feuds, forever at each other's throats. Add a little Durgan steel into the mix, you have a great many jealous neighbors. But if a nice family like this one ends up on pikes, maybe they'll sit down to discuss things the next time around. That's a real flimsy justification for murder, mate. A show of force impresses like nothing else. You have a passable talent for it yourself, I hear. These sadistic games really ought to be beneath you. I'm not sure they are, but what would you know about it? You're not one of us. You ever been in any kind of siege? I've killed dragons. You don't really compare, mate. You notice the two paladins behind Sebastian exchanging looks. Sebastian follows your gaze. For an instant, his posture seems tense. You snatched the opportunity to frighten a drunk man into believing he was to blame. He was to blame. You weren't there. You didn't see the relief on his face when I promised to make his problems go away. It's all they've ever wanted from us. You're nothing but a spiteful cur. You want spiteful? I'll have your head on a post outside that keep of yours. He turns his head. Kill him! Focus on the intruder. We'll kill the sun after. Oh, I think we are fighting all of them. Honestly, that's fine. We're just gonna wipe them out, probably. Let's see here. Let's just, well, let's get the tanks first. Okay, there's actually 5 of them. 3 paladins, including Sebastian. Get myself a log out of the way. Nice pillar of holy fire. Well, let's pitch out a couple of these. We probably should have regenerated our spells, but maybe it'll be fine. You know what, I'm gonna run up and just personally kill all of those guys. Nader, where the hell are you? There. Okay, knock Sevestin over. Zahua, you're not injured, so... It's per encounter, though, so... No, don't double knock him over. Knock this guy over. I will cast Frost on these dudes. Oh, they're dodging. Unbelievable. Who told them they could do that? Character? He's got a hammer. Yes, he is, but... Weird concept of ranged. That's not a good idea. You still aren't injured. You should probably rage, I suppose, but what else can you do? Let's go for the big hit on him. Somehow we've summoned a whole Dargul. I don't even remember which of us has the ability that does that. Scratch that dude. Okay, Sevestin is dying. Let's flank around and hit this guy with this. Loth, if you must just want to... He's pretty tough. Well, one of the paladins died, didn't they? But these last three, they got some durability. That's not bad. Okay, that's that. I think I probably... Oh. Esk stares at the fallen paladins. The dagger trembles in his hand. They told me they killed my parents. Is that true? I'm sorry, Eska. I never believed Kern could stoop to this. That rotten bastard. Eska turns his head away, fists clenched. You hear a stifled sob. Well, Kern sent me. He didn't want anyone to get killed. Who cares what he intended? I'm gonna see to it he regrets everything he's done. That's the spirit. Revenge is what started all this, kid. It's gonna finish all this, too. Here, I'm grateful you saved me, I am. I just wish you'd turned up sooner. No, don't go get revenge, kid. Oh, boy. Kern's gonna get super murdered, isn't he? Oh, well. Let's loot. Bunch of shiny armor, some gems, some silver.
I'll keep an eye out.
Oops. Okay, well, that's our business here concluded. Now we need to visit Crucible Keep, so we can bless this hammer, although I'm still... The person we're doing that quest for is straight up cheating, but... Ah, well. What the heck, why not? What do I have to do here? Bless the hammer at the Shrine of Abaddon. Okay. Wrapping up these side quests aside, we're also going to have to stop back home and sell a lot of stuff. Shrine of Abaddon is where? Over by the forge, or...? No, over here. Okay. We're all grievously injured still. Yeah, no. That's the Forge Hammer. You place Masca's Forge Hammer at the base of the shrine. For a moment nothing happens, then you hear the distant ring of hammers striking anvils. Tens, then hundreds, then thousands, all in unison. Masca's Forge Hammer suddenly flares with light and the chorus of hammering fades away. You retrieve the hammer, and though its appearance hasn't changed, it feels heavier somehow. Straightforward enough. And we also need to visit Magron's Fork, apparently. And then we will head back into the White March real quick. For probably the last time. Shrine of Magron. That's in the middle, right? Yep. This is where we picked up Durance, I think. The ash-covered shrine of Magron stands before you, the scent of charred wood still lingering in the air. The temperature around you begins to rise, and before long you feel as if you're standing in front of an open forge. Masca's hammer begins to glow red-hot. Suddenly, the ground near the shrine erupts into columns of living fire, flame blights. In the sky, winged shapes dive towards you, smoke trailing from their wide-open jaws. Oops. Didn't realize this was going to cause a fight. Okay, flame blights it is.
Nothing I can
Wait, what was in the sky with jaws? Oh, a whole 2 drakes. Okay. Okay, the fire spell is probably not the way to go. We could try this.
Yeah.
Pretty much never use it. Drakes usually aren't really that bad. Let's see if you can just... don't even bother wasting it on these. They're almost dead already. Devil, why don't you Withering Strike this guy? I feel like he was immune somehow, but maybe that was one of the blights.
How may
Alright, we're fine. Oops, accidentally tamed one. Well, it'll be on tamed soon. There we are. Nice fire, buddy. Ooh, fell into pieces. Rough. Okay, Primal Flame, Talon, what is this? I just missed that from a previous visit. Did we get our hammer back? Yeah, we did. Okay. So we got 3 quests for there, which are all back there now. Yeah. So the 3 quests back there are all dealt with. Well, except for turning them in. There's one other that I know of for there. And I also am going to stop back home. Not to sell stuff just yet, but to,
I must say, I'm impressed.
Because we're going to need this. As I've mentioned before, I'm not a super fan of the most difficult combats, so I will be content with just talking my way through the encounter with the dragon under the waterfall. I just need to artificially boost my resolve to get it done. Okay, so here we need to talk to Kern. Ooh, did he have a house or was he in the tavern? I think he was probably in the tavern. Well, now we also need to talk to somebody about... There's a quest for... Do any of you have dialogue now that I've finished this?
We've doubled our manpower at the White Forge.
He looks extremely resolute.
Most folk here are excited, but anxious. There's already news of raid Sarens gathering at the border. Only a matter of time before someone takes a swing at us. But this time, we'll be ready.
Gotcha. Some dialogue, then. I'm not going to systematically go around and talk to everyone. It wasn't that exciting, but...
So, you're back. What can I do? Sure, ask away. Not sure what I can tell you, though. Truth is, I couldn't figure they deserve me. Well, I'm from Ina's Rest, I heard some business went right. Anything else? What?
I think I talked to him before, but maybe not. Yeah, he's out of bounties. There's Kern. Found the Bleak walkers. You did? What happened? I dealt with them. Hattie and Alina were killed, but Eska's alive. Gods, Hattie! But Eska lives? You've saved him? And for that I owe you everything. I can't ever make any of it right, but I'll try. Here, take this, and thank you for sparing me a final stain upon my soul. Should I mention that Eska's probably coming to murder you? No? Okay. Sure that's not a problem or anything.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you?
I should
Top quality bear pelt.
I'm gonna rest. I believe the bonuses from back home last 3 rests, so... Ooh, but no, they get replaced when you rest again. Okay, that's my bad. Alright, well, we'll run back and rest again. The in-game time is made up anyway, so... Never really experimented with that before. Other quests. Masca, right. She'll be down here at the Temple of Abaddon. Oh. Grieving Mother's returned. After several more abductions took place at Zokeen Lake, Grieving Mother discovered that a previously unknown beast was behind the attacks. A strange ruby-red beetle would grab the locals and feed on their worst memories. The victims would initially fight back, they would quickly enter a blissful state and drop their resistance. Unfortunately, the beetle would eventually devour all of their memories, leaving their minds vacant and broken off from the world. Grieving Mother was able to track the beetle to its nest and kill it. The locals were relieved to hear that the beetle had been killed, but dismayed to learn that hatched eggs were discovered in the nest. As a parting gift, a philosopher from Zokeen Monastery created a wand for Grieving Mother from one of the beautiful red reeds that grows along the lake. Interesting. Accurate 3. Charged Spellbind, My Son, Do You See Your Sisters Across the Moor? And Nature's Terror. That's a messed up kind of place, huh? Hey, Maska. Could have warned me about the flame blights and drakes. The what now? Nothing in the ritual mentioned any of that. Maybe they just happened to be in the area? Well, here's your hammer. If it summons anything else, it's your problem. Just in time, too. I was supposed to be done with this sword yesterday. Okay, magic hammer, do your thing. She raises the hammer and prepares to strike the unfinished sword. Ooh, rough. Maska swings the hammer down hard, and both blade and anvil ring with the force of the blow. The blade's metal ripples like liquid as it shapes itself into a proper sword. Maska grins and nods at you. The ringing continues, becoming more and more shrill, and just as the sound becomes unbearable, the sword shatters, scattering metal shards across the room. Talfir's ritual. I haven't seen anyone try to use it in some time. He glances at you. You had help, of course, but it doesn't change the fact that you were the instigator. Maska, is there any reason I shouldn't immediately cast you out of the temple? It's kind of hilarious, actually. No, Master. Maska's eyes are fixed on the floor. What about you? Engrim turns to you. Engrim. Okay. You made yourself a part of this? Is there anything you wish to say in Maska's defense? Well, all errors can be reforged into lessons. One of Abaddon's affirmations, if I'm not mistaken. A valuable lesson, wouldn't you agree? Would that more of my acolytes actually read the book. Engrim smiles. Maska, this stranger's preserved your position within this temple. See that his effort was not in vain. I won't. Thank you, Master Engrim. Maska gives you a little smile. And thank you for getting me a second chance. Here, a gift for you. One of the very first things I forged. Now I need to get back to work. I've still got a lot to learn. Is this an unbelievably bad weapon? Oh gods, I don't even know where to possibly... Oh hey, I have this, by the way, that I could put on for further resolve boost, huh? I like having this, but yeah. Yeah, that's really nice. What's Hader's current helm do? Well, that's pretty good too. We're pretty full of options these days. Alright, other quests. That, and there is one other that I don't have in the log, but I need to find. I need to find Royce. I need to find somebody to ask about this drawing a kid made that I found ages ago, because apparently the kid doesn't spawn until I ask somebody about the drawing. The game is still paused, isn't it? The Royce. This woman looks at you like she's used to hearing bad news. She shakes her head and holds up her hands before you can even begin. Look, you can tell Hammond that I ain't seen Milla all day, and besides, he ought to keep a better eye on his shop if you don't want little uns poking around. She folds her arms and plants her feet wide. Milla? Think you've mistaken me for someone else. Oh, I didn't recognize you. You're the one who opened up the battery, aren't you? Royce looks both embarrassed and nervous as she stumbles over her words. It's just that my daughter, Milla, she spends time over at Hammond's tent. Gets underfoot. She shrugs, exhausted and exasperated. Figured he sent someone over to complain about her. Again. But you ain't hear about her, huh? You don't know where your child is? She backs away like she's been slapped. I didn't say that! Unable to look you in the eyes, her gaze darts to the ground, her cheeks flushed with embarrassment. But it's hard to keep track of her, what with all the commotion around here lately. Well, I'm sure she'll turn up. You need any help finding her? She's been out for quite a while now. That's nothing new. She chews her lip, wondering. Still, I can't help but worry she's gone and gotten herself into some trouble. You could keep an eye or two open for her while you're in town. I'd greatly appreciate it. No, thank you. Everyone's so busy these days with the mines and the forge opening back up again. It's kind of you to help. Yeah, do you recognize this drawing? She squints at it. Mountains and a cave? Lots of those in these parts. She squints. Those lines there could be standing stones like the one at Whitestone Hollow. Huh, I don't know why she would go off there. Is there someplace she likes to run off to? She often takes off to Hammond's Emporium, she shrugs. Has a problem with looking at things instead of touching them. Hammond's been on my back the past few days to keep her away. How about her father? Would he know? Please don't worry about him. He's in enough trouble at his job already. She smiles weakly. Truly, all of us appreciate what you did opening the battery back up. Folks like my Lodgar are making good money patching up all the damage out front. Please don't set his mind spilling about where Milla is. No comment. She watches you for some reaction, then pauses awkwardly at your silence, chewing her lip and idly tapping her boot against a small chunk of ice. Just walk off. I probably should tell the father that, you know, his wife has no idea where the hell their daughter is. I don't think there's any purpose in actually going to talk to Hammond, but I'm going to do it anyway just because it seems like the logical quest flow. Hey Hammond, you seen a kid? How may I be of service? Hammond gives you the broad, gleaming smile of a born salesman. Yes, there's a little girl, Milla, been causing trouble for you. She's out of control. I suppose one can hardly blame her with the way her own mother's always screaming at her. He leans across the counter and speaks to you in a conspiratorial whisper. I mean, where do you think the little rascal learns that kind of behavior, huh? Tilts his head. Only person I've ever seen give her a proper talking to is that wild woman who loiters by the hut just south of here. Aska, that's her name. I don't know what it was about, but the girl's eyes were this big. He curves his hands into circles as large as goose eggs. But I suppose someone's got to do it. I told the girl's mother I'd be speaking with Mayor Tarfos if I caught her picking around my shop again, so I guess it worked. He shrugs. What the hell did Aska tell her? Where is Aska? Aska, what did you tell her?
Lazies.
A well-built dwarven woman stands before you, one hand on her head and the other holding a few sheets of paper. 3 complaints of blights in Whitestone Hollow. And who are these people? Magron's faithful? Great, another pack of religious zealots. It's like they're popping up out of the snow these days. She glances up at you. Oh, sorry, Sea Lord, just a little preoccupied. Things may have quieted down some with the ogres lately, but there's been no shortage of new trouble. Or work, for those interested, just saying. You recognize this place? Okay, literally the same line as the mother. No offense, but you got some work to do on perspective. I heard you scolded Royce's girl. Aska cocks her head thinking for a moment, then she begins laughing. You know what that girl did? Snatched a whole chicken from the Grafe's Rest. Raw. Told her I'd better not catch her thieving again, but I was trying my damnedest not to laugh. Funny kid. She wipes a tear from the corner of her eye. But it's gotta be rough on her, you know. Her old man's working at the battery, and he's one absence away from getting fired. Again. Blaze's only reason Lodgar still has a job is because Wenger's a softy beneath all that soot. But Milla, she showed up at the battery the other day and nearly got him sacked. Since then, I've seen her keeping to herself. Spends a lot of time at the temple, come to think of it. Blights? The terror of Whitestone Hollow. It's a grand blight that turned up after the avalanche. Real disaster, that. Great big heap of snow right on top of one of our main trade routes. We can't start fixing the roads until we get the blights out of there. Can't exactly ask you to bring back this thing's head, but word is the terror's last victim was a caravan master. Turns out the fellow always wore a certain brooch. Figure it's somewhere in that monstrosity's belly. Bring me the brooch and I'll take it as proof you handled the blight. Sound fair? Sure. We're McGrawn's faithful. Bandits and horse thieves, as far as I can tell, led by a woman named Rodwith. Problem is their little group keeps growing and they've started tearing through some of the smaller villages. They were last spotted by Searing Falls, and rumor is they're headed in our direction. Starwart's just getting its bearings. We can't afford this kind of trouble. Bring me Rodwith's head and I'll see you a little richer for it. Oh, interesting. Is that 2 new quests, or did I handle those already? No, that's 2 new quests. Searing Falls and Whitestone Hollow. Okay. Well, let's see. I think that I don't actually need to go back home. I can just, sprint my way over here. Go up to Long Watch Falls. Nice, Mar. Cat. Very similar to the cat. I never even paid attention exactly how much, but it's really similar looking to the pet cat in the game, actually. Nice, Mar. I mean, I knew they looked kind of similar, but the markings are actually almost identical.
Thanks for watching, adventurers. New parts will be up every other day, or you can watch live on Twitch. If you did enjoy the video, consider leaving a like or subscribing. Have a nice day, adventurers. This is Sea Lord Janda, signing off.